I believe he will, if not the first day, certainly shortly thereafter. So this is just kind of a slew of things that he can do. But in the meantime, lawyers like myself are suing Trump to get courts to stop this nonsense. For example, we have one lawsuit we filed about a month ago on fiancés. Somebody's a U.S. citizen, they want to bring their fiancé from India. Trump stopped that. They won't start doing them. So we sued. We're waiting on that decision. We sued. We have a number of clients on O1s, extraordinary ability. He won't give them O1s. So we sued on that, and we just filed that this week. So there's all these potatoes in the air, all these, kind of balancing stuff out in the federal courts. And people say, well, Biden's going to be president. Why do you have to do that? Biden's not, he's not going to be able to fix all this immediately. One of the things that Trump did very successfully is take out management. So yes, they have a director of the agency, although USCIS has not had one for a year, a real one. But all the senior people that were good at their jobs, that were civil servants, they're gone. They checked out. Their history. So Biden has to literally rebuild that.
Exactly.
In a normal new presidency, a president will appoint about 4,000 people. Trump appointed 1,000.
Wow.
It's really the attack on the what's called the state. They want to shrink the federal government by getting rid of people that know what they're doing. Well, that's not a good thing, and it's certainly not a good thing in the immigration sphere. So that's kind of my 5-minute update on the crazy stuff that's going on.
Wow. Thank you, Charles. So I think you have touched upon mainly on the family-based immigrants, right?
And so we talked about H-1Bs, we talked about employment as well. So
yes. So let's come to the family-based immigrants. You are saying when Biden comes, he has the power to stop it. So that means today, because the whatever the 100,000 plus family-based immigrants are turned down to the employment-based, so that way all the Indians are getting the priority dates moved. So with this,
that's why we had this big jump in October. Everybody could file, but Indians still only get a percentage of that. There's a bill pending, which I have been opposed to, S386, but only on the principle that it needs to apply to family-based cases, because there's a big family-based backlog. I think what a lot of people don't realize is once you get your green card and you want to sponsor your kids or your wife that might be new coming over, there's going to be a huge wait because of the per country limits. And that's going to affect India, as Trump would say, hugely, big time, once a whole bunch of people get their green card. That's why you have to deal with them both at the same time. And that's really the fairest way to make this happen and get rid of per country limits. What we really need to do is increase the numbers. And that only Congress could do that. But I think there's an opportunity. Now, of course, it depends on who controls the Senate, but I think even with the Republican Senate, there is a chance to fix immigration next year that we haven't had in a long time. So,
wow. So I'm sure that this is going to affect, if Biden takes in his 100 days, if he takes a stance to give again for the family-based immigrants, then they will reduce.
He will definitely do that. He's going to lift that ban. I don't have any doubt about that. But the problem is the consulates are still closed.
Exactly.
He's not only have to lift the ban, he's going to say, get back to work. Fine. I mean, what is the purpose of me physically coming in if I can be on Zoom? What's the I mean, you see me, right? I mean, I'm the same person. I give you my passport. You can see it's me on the screen. It's not like I'm deep faking this on the internet. You don't need to be in. You can make the person literally come to the lobby of the consulate and do a video from the lobby. You don't have to have contact with people. So, I mean, there's ways to do this that make sense and ways that don't. And right now, the Trump administration is giving cover to the Department of State to not do their job. Because he doesn't want people to come. Legal immigration was down 92% last year. We had the lowest, 92%, the lowest level of legal immigration since 1924.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a record.
That's bad for our economy. You don't grow an economy and shrink immigration. That's not how this works. The people that believe that are morons. They're just morons. They don't understand economics. Like there's only a certain number of jobs. Oh, I'm sorry, you ran out of jobs. You can't let anybody else in. That's not how this works.
So Charles, definitely I could see that. tell me one more thing regarding you talked about 4,000 employees, federal employees versus 1,000. So if Biden increases staff, federal staff by 1,000 to 4,000, do you think there will be a huge momentum on the consulate working efficiently?
I do, because Biden will demand it. I mean, his Secretary of State will demand it. Right now, the Secretary of State doesn't even recognize that Biden won the election. That guy's an idiot. He's running for president in 2024. So it's yes. These are the type of things when you replace senior management that get fixed right away. And I know a lot of these people, men and women, tremendous people that will be appointed to these jobs. This will fix as best you can. But really, Trump took 4 years to dismantle immigration. It will probably take us 4 years to fix it.
I know.
What questions do we have, Praveen? We must have some questions.
Yes. So increase in the new wage levels, Charles. So how does this affect?
That's going away. Forget it. We're going to win that case. That's going away. It's going to be a non-question, hopefully by tomorrow.
So how about the cap cases? So April is already coming. Then, in 2021, what will be the new regulations for the cap cases?
Supposedly, the new regulation is only if you're rich, you're going to get paid $1 million a year to get an H-1B. I can guarantee you now that regulation will be struck down in court. It's illegal. It's just flat out illegal. So we're going to file. I'm part of the team that's going to file on that. We're going to win that. It will never be the law, period.
Okay, hopefully that happens. And how about the lottery system? We are also hearing that, Trump doesn't want this lottery system.
Just talked about it. The lottery they want to do based upon salary as opposed to randomness. Honestly, I think the lottery ran pretty well this last year. I mean, we could use some more information, but the reality is it ran probably better than it's ever run. And it certainly was far less expensive for employers not having. I mean, it's crazy when you have to prepare, you're preparing 200,000 H-1Bs and they're only going to take 65. You just wasted 135,000 H-1Bs. Think about the millions of dollars that were lost. I mean, the attorneys don't want to prepare this stuff. It's a gigantic waste of time. Most H-1Bs are prepared by lawyers who are charging nothing. They're charging very little. That's just, no lawyer I know makes a lot of money doing H-1Bs. That's not why you're in existence. And so preparing H-1Bs that will never be used is stupid. So I think that the initial change to the lottery was a good thing. The new change is just stupid, and it's never going to be legal.
Awesome, Charles. Let's talk about a little bit more about the fees. We are hearing that, there is an increment already. There will be affecting in this December 8th, or there is a dead date.
Another victory by immigration lawyers. They raised the fees. We went to court. We won. Fee increase is gone. And it's not going, and it's being held by the court. The court is not going to decide that case until the Biden administration takes office. And the Biden administration has already said, we're not raising the fees. We're going to reduce the fees, in fact, and we're going to hold that regulation. So the fees will not be going up. The only fee that has gone up, and that's because of Congress, is the premium processing fee, or as I like to call it, the extortion fee. You don't have to pay us. I mean, we'll just take our time 6, 8, 10 months later, or you can pay us $2,500 and we'll do it tomorrow. That's extortion where I went to law school.
So definitely, Charles, if you see H-1B, if the H-1B is stricter going forward, there is a huge small businesses, and also the companies, because of the skill set, it will be impacted, right? So Biden coming on, do you think there will be changes where the small businesses, that the staffing companies are the companies which hire skilled labor?
Staffing companies have no sympathy whatsoever. They have no advocate in the Biden administration, the Trump administration, on Capitol. Nobody says we love staffing companies. Yet companies, private, like Google or whatever the big company is, they don't want to hire IT people. They want to hire a staffing company who has the best people that they can bring in. That's why they don't want to hire them. So it's Congress not recognizing the new business model for big companies. Disney, for example, got a lot of flack 4 years ago for firing all their IT people and bringing in contractors. Disney didn't want to be in the IT business. They're in the entertainment business. So it's not unusual they're doing that, but there's no sympathy for it. And if there's no sympathy for it, there's nobody advocating for it. So yeah, staffing companies are still going to be a major problem under the Biden administration, without a doubt.
Thank you, Charles. Let's come to the little bit on the processes, right? In Trump's administration, we saw that there are so many layers, like LCA you have to file. There is an amendment you need to file. In your 30 years of experience, don't you think this is a tedious task in this business?
We hate it. Immigration lawyers hate this. When Matter of Simeo came out 6 or 7 years ago, you got a salary increase, or you changed your location, got to file a new H-1B. We don't want to do this. This is not a business model for us. People, you're getting rich on H-1Bs. Nobody is getting rich on these pain in the butt applications on H-1Bs. It's stupid. There is clearly a better way. So right now, I think they kind of backed off on this. They want to, again, in the new regulation, they want to bring back these requirements. But right now, you don't have to amend the H-1B if you are getting a salary increase or your job changes slightly. But you do if you have to change your employer. The way to do these, to really do them, is to go online, have a system online, file it online, done online, and it's done automatically by AI. This does not require rocket scientists. Yet, again, the H-1B has been demonized by a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats. Unjustly so, because it provides the U.S. employers with some of the best talent in the world. And people tend to think of it as an IT thing. There are thousands of doctors on H-1Bs right now that we wouldn't have in our country without the program. There are people in a lot of different professions on H-1Bs that are not IT. So to demonize it as an IT thing, it's 65% IT, but that's not why we really need this. And the other reality is, if you want American businesses to compete on a worldwide level, you have to recruit worldwide. Exactly. America is not always producing the best talent. A great example is the COVID vaccine. That vaccine was discovered by 2 Turkish investigators in Germany on behalf of a partner company of Pfizer. So, you want the best people. And if you don't bring them here, they're going to be somewhere else.
Awesome. Charles, this country is all about, if you say America is a land of immigrants, you agree with that, right?
So I am an example of that. I'm only here because of my immigrant grandparents.
Exactly.
I do this. I grew up in an immigrant household. It was German, okay, but it's still immigrant. I'm part of that whole immigrant experience here.
So being said that this is a land of immigrants, so the immigration laws plays a vital role as one of the, in his cabinet when he has his 100 days program. Don't you think that this should be a top in agenda?
Oh, it is. It's clearly in the top 5 things he's going to get done. It's just that this whole COVID thing that Trump has allowed to explode with his stupid anti-mask stance and not taking it seriously. Biden's going to have to deal with that. Now, the good news is he wants to deal with it. 1, he's capable of dealing with it. 2, and he's got the best people to deal with it. So we will get this taken care of. And by summertime, we'll be on our way to a full recovery, and we'll get a lot of this other stuff done.
Awesome. Hopefully we will recover, and all these changes will make everyone their journey smooth. Let's hope for the positive, Charles. Let's come to the citizenship. So do you envision any charges changes or any rules changes, any policies changes in the citizenship?
Oh, absolutely. They already announced it. Before they leave, they're going to make the citizenship test harder.
Oh my God.
We don't really know how. Most Americans can't already pass it. So I don't know. They want to make it ready for a PhD. A little unclear. They also want you to have, I think, deeper writing and reading skills, which will hurt a lot of people. The reality is you don't need to be Shakespeare to be member of the U.S. of the American society. That's just a stupid requirement. But again, these people are white nationalists. They're nativists. They don't want immigrants here. They're afraid of immigrants. And that's why we need to fight back, and why we do at our law firm fight back.
Wow. Similarly, on these grounds, I have another question, Charles. We are hearing that whenever a new baby is born for any of the immigrants in this country, not be in the citizenship, unlike other countries. Is that going to be true?
They can't change that. It's in the Constitution. That's just a pipe dream. Literally will never happen. Don't even worry about it.
So how big is the deal if you want to change, Charles? In your experience, if you want to make a change in the Constitution, how big is the deal?
You have to get 38 states to change the Constitution. It's not. We fought a civil war over this issue. Relax. This is not going to be an issue ever.
Okay. Coming next, let's talk about little bit about travel bans. So due to this pandemic, everyone are packed, everyone are panic whether we are going to go out of the country, will we come back? That's the question they have. So are there going to be any changes in the next 2-3 months?
Now, I don't have any doubt not before Biden takes office in 70 days, I think, maybe 69 days. He's going to get rid of those proclamations. But what he'll probably do is replace them with something else, which would be, for example, before you come into the US, you have to get a COVID test within 48 hours. Okay, that solves the problem. I mean, it just solves the problem. So, yeah, those are going to go away. I mean, although we're probably going to win our lawsuit before then, so it won't make any difference at all anyway.
So, do you have any idea how many lawsuits have been filed on this visa?
I have 6 personally.
You have 6 personally.
And there's at least 3 others that are pending.
So as a citizen, anyone can file a lawsuit,
well,
Charles?
you have to have a plaintiff. We have plaintiffs that are affected. You have to have somebody as a lawyer. Any lawyer can file any lawsuit, but you have to have a good case. Donald Trump, he's suing over an election that he has 0 chance of winning, and he has no facts to support his case, but he's still wasting the court's time. We have facts and we have plaintiffs. So
awesome. I think on the skills, let's come to a little bit on the visa side. The skills, it's going to be strengthened. So what do you think it will be more stringent from the skills gap analysis, how they are going to evaluate in future?
You mean you're talking about the specialty occupation?
Specialty, yes.
I already addressed that earlier, but that rule is never going to come into law.
Okay.
But what we're dealing with, however, is how USCIS interprets it already. And every time they try to go somewhere, we file a lawsuit, and we've won every lawsuit against them. Frequently, we have individual people that are denied an H-1B. They'll come to me and what can I do? We'll sue them, and the government reverses their decision and approves the case. We have a class action pending right now for systems analysts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we filed a lawsuit in California along with my friend Jeff Joseph and Ayla, and we won that lawsuit. They reopened our plaintiffs' cases and granted the cases, and now we're waiting to get a class action so they can go back and reopen everybody's case.
So even you win the lawsuit in one state, so that means it will be reversed everywhere?
Well, if you have a class action, yes. Otherwise, it's just for that individual.
So still, as you said, for the new president to take his office, there are 69 days. What can happen in the 69 days? Trump can...
very terrible things, my friend.
He can do anything?
A lot, and he can do anything. He's got a lot of terrible things. But that's why lawyers like me go to court and we stop the crazy stuff. So I will just tell you, ignore Twitter, get off Facebook, get out of these groups that think of the worst case scenarios, take a deep breath. We'll see you January 20th.
Yeah, awesome. So I have a couple of questions from the audience, Charles. So one of the viewer by name Sam, right?
Sam, I am.
Sam, okay. So his priority date is October 2013 in EB2. However, my I-140 is with former employer, not with the current employer. Please let me know if there is any possibility for apply for I-485 and EAD by downgrading my application to EB3 by current employer without filing perm all the way from the beginning?
No, the new employer would have to file a perm, or your old employer would have to downgrade you. That's your only two options.
And we are seeing a lot of things here because of the dates priority has moved. Everyone are going from EB2 to EB3.
Yeah.
Is it the good process?
Thing that I told my clients. Praveen, have you ever been whale watching? Did you ever go on a boat and say, hey, let's go look at the whales? What happens everybody goes, there's the whales over there. And everybody goes to that side of the boat. The boat goes, whoa.
Exactly.
No, go back. It's over there. Everybody goes over there. That's what's happening. So yes, EB2 was the most backlogged category. Now what's going to happen when 300,000 EB2s become EB3s? EB3 will become the most backlogged category. This is not rocket science. You know, it's not, it's more than likely not going to get you a green card any faster. Just FYI, the Chinese did this 8 years ago. The same thing happened in China about 8 years ago. So all these Chinese switched from EB3 to EB2 or EB2 to EB3. Didn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Didn't make any difference. And actually what it does, it actually makes it more complicated to understand how long the wait time is because, and I know this for a fact, the guy that writes the visa bulletin is a fellow named Charlie Oppenheim. He has told me personally,
okay,
that CIS tells him how many EB2s and how many EB3s they have, but they don't tell him how many people are in both categories.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Charles. And one more question from Deepak. So Deepak says he's from South Carolina. He says, February 2020, I have changed my employer. I have a US visa till 2022, but with old employer. Do I need to go for visa again if I visit India?
Nope. You just take a letter from your new employer that you work there, your approval notice for your new employer for the H-1B, your most recent pay stub, and you're good coming back in the country. You can travel on the old H-1B as long as it's valid.
Thank you. Hope Deepak, if you are viewing, that is the answer. So let me know
Deepak.
if you have any questions.
Easy, man.
Take it easy. And one more last question from Anup. I know the time is up and we have last 5 minutes for you and we wanted to respect your time, Charles. And Anup says that he was on L1B in 2012 and he has served 2 years and seven months on the L1B and he went back to India and filed a H1B petition. And within 8 months, he got approved in February 2017. The visa got stamped in July 2017 and he came back here February 2018. So he's asking, will my new H1B visa will reset to 6 years or consider my L1B stay?
Here's the rule. It's very simple. If he was physically outside the United States for 1 year, it resets.
It resets.
Very simple rule. So if he's, regardless of when stuff was approved, when he got a visa, day you left, day you came back. More than a year, 6 years.
Done. Awesome. Very, very straightforward. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. And before we close, do you want to give any other inputs on the immigration to all the viewers?
Well, we'll tell you, of course, you know, any questions, you can reach out to me. My website, Praveen, is very easy. It's immigration.net. Immigration.net. How does it get easier than that, right? You can also follow me on Twitter, where I put a lot of information about immigration at CKUCK. Now, my last name is spelled K-U-C-K, right? But it's pronounced Cook, like chef. It's the whole immigrant thing, right? Everybody's, how do you pronounce that name? It's, I mean, you never asked that in India. I know how to pronounce Praveen. I can say that. It's easy. But in the United States, you don't know where that name is from. You don't know how it's said. It's one of the wonderful things I love about immigration. But no, here's the deal. We have a good president coming in. He's going to be able to make some good changes. But we are going to have to fight together, not apart, not trying to grab something from me and forget about you. We need to work together as an immigrant community to lift the boat together. And that's what I want to be working for.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you for having me tonight. It's been a great evening.
Thank you for your time. And you have sacrificed your 35 minutes so far, and I am sure that the viewers have got a lot of information. And to the viewers, and Charles will be available on his website, Twitter, and if you need anything, you can email, even as you can see on the flyer, so that we can get answers
Facebook,
for you.
we answer all the questions on Facebook. We're actually doing free phone consults right now during COVID just to give people answers. I mean, I believe that information is power. And if you have good information, you can make good choices. If you get your information off the deep web, trust me, it's bad information. So go to the people that know what they're talking about and get good information to make good choices. Pretty simple.
Sure. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, all the viewers. We will meet with one more interesting topic, whichever is helpful to you all. Till then, thank you. Good night. Have a great day.
2020 అనే వెబ్సైట్ లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోండి. తానా బాలోత్సవం 2020.
భారత్ మాతా కీ జై, భారత్ మాతా కీ జై.
పిల్లలకు కలల పండుగ, పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం, ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక. ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం.